Well, tonight we are celebrating the career of our own Jim Donovan. This month marks his 35th year at WKYC.
It has been a wild ride for our colleague and friend. Let's take a look at Jim's continuing incredible journey.
What a year for George Karl and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
1985, the year a curly-haired sportscaster started working here in Cleveland. 35 years later, we pay tribute to someone who can turn a phrase and capture a moment magnificently. One word captures this energy, this wit, and this style: Jimmy.
When you call out Stipe Miocic, you call out all of us here in Cleveland, Ohio. And when you do call, ask for Russ and Sarah, and I'll be right behind them.
Jim grew up in South Boston. He loved sports, especially the Bruins, watching games alongside his dad. After graduating from Boston University in 1978 and brief stops in Vermont and Minnesota, Jimmy arrived in Cleveland and never looked back. Life was hectic, covering the Browns, Cavs, Indians, Cleveland Marathon, even the Soapbox Derby. And while Jim was busy chasing all the local sports stories, he landed a job with NBC Sports, traveling all over the country, calling NFL games every Sunday. And Jimmy has seen it all when it comes to Cleveland sports: the ups, the downs, and the surreal.
Thank you very much.
After 3 seasons without the NFL in Cleveland, call this one a dream come true. It came his way in 1999. Jim was named the radio voice of the Browns. And as he gets ready for his 22nd season, think about this. The Browns have had 10 full-time head coaches, dozens and dozens of starting quarterbacks, but only one voice.
Green stutter step, he's through. First down, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Run, William, run. There goes Chubb. He's to the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Shabba-lubba hub.
It's a job Jimmy cherishes and doesn't take lightly for the most loyal fan base in all of sports.
In the booth, when you're with him, he puts his heart and soul into that game. His mannerisms, he's got his hands going this way, his feet going this way. Every play, he's helping them, and you just hope that someday that he gets to do a Super Bowl, because he definitely deserves it.
Jim was on top of the world, ready for the next chapter of his life when everything changed.
Since the summer of 2000, I have been dealing with a big problem of having leukemia.
This is when the adventure of his life really began. An anonymous donor gave Jim the most precious gift you can ever receive: his cells. Jim sat in a room at the Seidman Cancer Center for a full month, going through the scary process of a bone marrow transplant. There were bumps in that road, spiking fevers of 105. Yes, the thought of not making it crossed his mind, but Jimmy kept fighting and fighting.
I am back.
On September 11th, 2011, Jimmy made his return to the booth.
Say thank you for all those cards, emails, and letters. Mike Nugent will kick it off.
And with a clean bill of health, he returned to work at Channel 3, where we watch him every night, delivering the sports on what matters most and what's next, and hosting Front Row. Boston may be home, but Cleveland is where his heart is. Jimmy, a gift that arrived in 1985 that we are all able to unwrap every night, and of course, every Sunday afternoon.
The Browns have won it.
Wow.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Man, the guy that narrated that, I could listen to him read the phone book
All day long. Does it feel like 35 years?
No, it really doesn't. Time really does fly, I have to tell you. When I came here, and I came here from Burlington, Vermont, back in 1985, you signed typically 3-year contracts, but there were 13-week windows inside the first contract that I signed here, meaning if they didn't like you every 13 weeks, they could let you go. So it wasn't that I was worried about me liking Cleveland. I was worried about Cleveland liking me.
35 years, 13 weeks at a time, huh?
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah.
It's worked out. It is fascinating to work with Jimmy, to sit next to him. We talk about this all the time. You should know, we're reading our news from a teleprompter.
Yes.
When Jimmy comes on, they turn the teleprompter off.
It's all from up here.
It's all from up here, and it is just fun and fascinating and an honor to sit next to you.
Well, thanks. It's a lot of fun sitting with all of you, and through all of the other people that I've sat with here for so many years. This has been a lucky town for me. Met my wife here. here. Lived out my dream to become the voice of the Cleveland Browns, a job that I take. Anytime that anybody says you're the voice of the Cleveland Browns, I have to tell you, no matter where it is and no matter when it is, a tingle goes down your spine,
Sure,
and it's because of the great tradition of the guys that had it before me.
Wow. He's not going anywhere, folks.
No. We're celebrating him, but he's got 40, 45, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of 13 weeks.
13 weeks at a time. All right, my friend. We'll see you later in sports.
Thanks, Jim.